In my last video, I got some comments about not being able to see the screen as I was going through it. So I thought I'd go through the screen real quick. We have the PV array right here. Right now we're pulling in 2.2 kilowatts. If I click that, the NHX has 4 MPPTs, and right now we're using 3 of them. So we've got 3 arrays. It's kind of an overcast day. We've got a total now of about 7,200 watts capable on it, but the houses and the batteries are really just not drawing that much. But that's how you see the PV. Now we're going to go up at the top, or we'll go back home, hit battery. You can see battery settings. We have voltage. Current is that's actually going into the battery right now. State of charge is 47%. Battery temperature, power, battery type, and you can see your charge and discharge for the current day and total overall. We're going to hit home. So this is the load. You see L1 and L2. You can see if they're balanced, how unbalanced they are, and then total draw for the day. Back. Grid. So we're really not pulling anything off the grid right now. The last one is generator. We don't have a generator hooked up on this one. Go back home. And that's the other thing. So once you're on the screen, you can hit the icons at the top to scroll through different ones. So that's battery. That takes you to the same spot that battery would take you here. You can also see the lines pointing to where the charge is going. So it's coming in from solar, going into the battery. It's showing some energy coming in from the grid, but you can see there's actually no power coming in. That's just showing that it's alive. So we're going to go into settings by hitting the cog up here. The password's 5 ones. So this is the screen that I spend the most time on, because under advanced settings, we have time of use. So we have this system set up from midnight to 8 a.m. to allow the batteries to discharge 50%. They won't even come close to that because of how low the draw is on the house. But that way, if you wake up in the morning and it's cloudy, or if there's a power outage, you still have 50% of your battery life left. In this case, about 15,000 watts. And then no battery usage from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It all runs off of solar, and it would be slightly supplemented by the grid. And then from 6 p.m. to midnight, it allows the batteries to discharge down to 80%. So once the sun goes down. We want to try to get as close to being off-grid as possible. That's why it's set that way. So right now we have PV charge only set. You can do grid charge and it'll charge the batteries up off the grid. But we want to just see how close we can get to off-grid with still having how close we can get, but we still have the grid as a backup. And then next, back to time of use. So we'll go back to settings. And then, so this is grid tied, but not, there is no cell back. So we are not doing any type of grid feeding. So cell is disabled, and we're doing 0 export. This is parallel settings. We don't have anything set up for parallel. Battery settings. So since we've selected lithium, aside from the charge current and the discharge power limit, there is no other setting. We do CAN communication, seems to work the best. CAN communication. And then if these are battery settings, if you were doing lead acid, but since we have battery communication set up, we're using lithium. Everything is set up and controlled by the battery and the inverter. Then grid settings, we're split phase, UL. And there's not much to change here. You got country and back, and then your generator settings. If you set up generator, nothing's enabled there. And then just the basic information for the unit. So we'll go back to settings. main thing is that's where we're going to spend most of our time, is making sure it's set up and how we're going to cycle these batteries, and then here how we're going to charge the batteries. Go back to the main screen, hit home. So we're doing 2.4 kilowatts right now, and batteries pulling 32 amps, charging back up. Give me an idea, so it's 2.4 kilowatts, and it's, well, the sun just came out, but it's a little overcast, as you can see. And yeah, even this morning at 7 a.m. the system was producing, you saw it hit 3,000 watts. The system was producing about 500 watts at 7:30 on an overcast day. So it just kind of shows, you know, in the idle consumption, you can see the house is only pulling 700 watts right now. The idle consumption of this house, because of the high efficiency appliances, is 500 watts. So it's got really low idle consumption. So the key to being real off-grid solar is having a big enough array that cloudy days just don't really matter. So there you go. That's the menu setup for the NHX 18K PV. So it's 18,000 watts of solar. It's a 12,000 watt inverter. I think on the website now it's the 12K is how it's branded, and that's from Watts 247. So that's a menu run through on the menu. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Have a great day.